Welcome to the lounge and the Forex report, and starting with the US dollar here index just on the hourly chart. We've been working across the midpoint, which is the 95 here, and we've been looking at this as a wave 4 here. Wave 4s can be sideways and complicated, so we should give it a little bit of time to develop, but that said, once we get support on 95.30, the top of subgroup 1, then we know that we'll be pushing to the upside there. And of course, the euro would be the mirror opposite. So looking at the euro on a large chart first, on a monthly chart, just to point out that that we are looking for a low, and this particular length here would be A wave equaling C wave here. So A and C here with a triangle in the middle here, an Elliott triangle, an A and a B and a C and a D and an E here, and we're looking for 5 waves down through to here. So with those 5 waves in mind, we're looking at, well, here we go, so to speak. So we're looking at, well, I should have put it on a different chart, but anyway, wave 4, wave 3, wave 4, and down for wave 5 here of 5. Now, so we are looking for a low. Now we know that the US dollar index has got one more move to the upside, so we would have to assume that we've got one more low coming into play here as well. That said, we do have an impulse wave up here, so it could be a variety of things as such here, but our main point is to track 5 waves down through to here. So let's just have a closer look at that here. Now, there's a couple of ways to view all of this, and this is one of them with a low in place here already, but it's highly likely that the US dollar index can have another high. So this way to count this would be down for 1, back for 2. We can have wave 4 over here and wave 5 here, and then this would be an A and a B wave and a C wave pulling back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, and then moving down from that point there. Okay, so my suggestion is that we won't turn positive unless we've got a nice support on top of 3 here, being a group 1 here. So we just need to be a little bit mindful of that, but I'm just going to leave that there for the time being. But as long as we're aware that that there's a high probability of another move to the downside. The other point with this though is that if I left it like this here, then we do have 5 waves up here. So it's either wave C here, or we've got 5 waves up. And if it is that situation, we've got a low in place here, we've got 5 waves here. So the next session should sort out if we're going to get an impulse wave to the downside or a corrective wave to the downside. If we get a corrective wave to the downside in 3 waves, then we'll be pushing up here with the same length of this move here further to the upside. So it does leave us with the setup being on number 3 here, 1.130, and just to work in here a little bit here, just from the low here on the 5-minute chart, we do have a nice impulse wave up here for 1 and 2. So we're not really doubting the wave 3 and wave 4. We're not doubting the wave 5 as such. I just don't know if it's wave 1 or wave C. Looking at the US dollar index, it would place this as wave C here, and we would move further to the downside. Now, if we are in a bullish market, then we'll see some type of corrective pattern here first, and then the upside to here. Okay, so we just need another session to allow this to play out here. This number here is important too. This is a 272 number, so 72 is important, as you know, but 272 is doubly important, and this is playing out across here. So you wouldn't want to go long unless you had that as a support. And it's good the fact that it's made these highs here. Now it's having a decent correction here, because if it does test lower here and then find support here, then you know that you can go long from that point there. But I think just give another session here, because we are in the bigger picture, we are fishing for a low, and we really need to make sure that we've got that in place, because it wouldn't be nice to have some long-term longs in this market here. You can see by the indicators here that this is on a monthly chart here. You can see that the indicator is these indicators, RSI, are very, it's very, very low here. So unless it trips out, then it's certainly in line with our wave count. The Australian dollar US, the weekly chart here, once again from wave 4 here, we're simply looking for 5 waves down here for wave C, the end of all of this whole bear market here. So we're counting 5 waves. We've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're looking down for 5. So from wave 4 up here, moving into the daily chart, wave 4 here, we're looking at wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then we're looking down for wave 5 here. Now in wave 5 here, we're looking for 5 waves as well, and we can look at that in a moment. But realistically, in the sense that we know the RBA are pegging it down to 75, and all that's fine. But if we do find support on top of 80 at any stage here, that would be our main purpose to be long at that stage. Sure, shorter term traders and scalpers can do whatever they need to do, but just in the bigger picture here, we're below the 80 here, and we should see a retest of that. But normally you see a retest of that from the 78. When you go to trade, finding the closest largest number and using that as support or resistance to trade off is what we're looking at. But we're looking at 5 waves from wave 4 here down to wave 5 here. So just drilling in through there from wave 4 here down to wave 5 here, we're looking at this a little bit complicated in here, and this can be interpreted some different ways. But one of the main points is that this is certainly a third wave, isn't it? It's strong and it's powerful. So we'll be looking at a wave 4 here. The wave 4 38.2 retracement level is actually on the 80 here. So if we sort of roughly take our wave 2 from roughly there, we can see that the 38.2 retracement level is at 80. So it is probable that we can get a retest to that level before we see any further downside there. But just drilling into that a little bit here, just nailing it down a bit further. I've got wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 3. So we are looking for this wave 4, and as I mentioned, it can pull back to the 80 here in terms of a 3-wave structure. It does appear that we've got a little 5 here, so we should see a 3 here, and then another 5 to here, and then down to this point here. So we are looking, I don't know if this is going to extend or what the case is going to be, but I think from 78 we could be looking at a low in here. So just sort of drilling in here a little bit. This is the 38.2 retracement. I wouldn't be. Just be careful which way you sort of work through this market, because the main trend is still down. Just not. I mean, it does count as 5 waves moving up through here. So a wave 1 and 2, very much like the euro. The wave 3 can be into here. The wave 4 and the wave 5 here. So we're looking for an A into B into C wave back to here, and then a possible another 5 waves up through to here. We are seeing a bit of strength in the metals market. So being a commodity dollar, we'll see some strength from the copper, the nickel, aluminium, lead, and so forth. So the pound Aussie. Now, in the bigger picture here, we're looking at this as we're looking at this as a B wave up to here and a C wave to here. Now, the C wave, if we look at normal ABC, we'd look at the A wave coming down to here, the B wave to here, but because the B wave has taken out the top here, it's giving us a bit of an unorthodox top here. So Normally with an ABC, we would see the C wave, this C wave here, come back down below here. And that's still probable in a sense that, we could have down for wave 1, back for wave 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's probable. But in the degree of structure, we do have 5 waves here to complete a wave C of B here, and we are seeing a move up through here. It has moved up higher than the 61.8%, but it's actually at the 78 odd percent, which is the square root of 61.8. So it is a valid retracement level here. So we just need to be a bit careful here because the market can fail from here and we can get trapped. So in terms of being long or short, let's just drill in and have a little bit of a look here. Now, if I just come back to this point here, obviously if we get a move above this high here, then, then we've got this count is correct at that stage and we'll be heading up to the major trading level 2 here. But what we could do before we get, because we know that's going to get a bit rough going at the top there anyway, but if we bring this down to the 190 area through here, which is the closest largest number here, if we see this market, have its correction at this level and then find support on this level, then there's a high probability that we'll be moving further to the upside here and taking out this high here and then looking at a stronger structure through here. And that's what we kind of want to work out at the moment. So the idea where we talked about last time was to be long above this high here, the 188 last time we spoke, and we are getting a very nice structure up through here, and it does appear to be this is proving a very nice structure through here, and we'll look at that in a moment. But one of the main point here that I wanted to point out is that 190 here, you can see that the market is doing its thing here. So if we looked at this in terms of a corrective pattern across here, yes, we can expect a high above this little high here because this move here is in 3 waves here. But after that, we would see a corrective pattern. So we'd see a little 5 waves up here, and then we're likely to see a pattern like this. Now, if we see failure here, then we know sort of where we are. But if we do get support back up here, then we can go long again from that point there. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at. And this here does appear to be a nice 3rd wave here. So this one across here would be a 4th wave, even if we look from this point here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, we still have this one here as well. But I always thought that this here looked corrective up here, and then this move down here looked as in 5 waves. So I think it's a bit of a truncated 5th wave, and we can have that move to that point there. So, but it is looking very bullish up through here, and it has moved past the 61.8. It is at the 78 point. So it's really at its last, failing point as such. But the pattern appears to be strong, but even if it is this point here, we can still look at this as an A and a B and a C wave to here and failing from here. That's why we need to be careful we don't get trapped there as such. So we can see just on this 15-minute chart here that we've got, this is in 3 waves here, so it makes it corrective as a wave 4, so we should see that be taken out here. So what we sort of want to see here is we want to see this top get taken out here, and then we want to see what happens after that. So we want to see this move up to 191, and then it will either have a sort of corrective move back like that and further up there. So let's just see, it's all about this little level here and this completing in here as such, either as a wave C here, and I'm being conservative by putting that there, otherwise it'd be a wave 3 here, and we'll see further upside. But if you are long and you're still long, then just stay long and put the stop under here. The Euro Australian. Okay, so once again here we're looking for completion of wave C here. So from the medium level here, 150, I've got the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level as wave 5, and then we're looking down as an A and a B and a C wave through to here. Now, in normal terms, if we're trading stock and all the rest of it, we would really want to have that 150 as support here, but obviously trading FX, we're much closer to the game, so the price. So yeah, what we're doing is looking for 5 waves down through to here to complete wave C here. But I must say that I'm not that keen on this particular correction because wave C would normally be on more of an angle here than wave A. Wave A is normally the sharp move, and then wave B, and wave C is normally on more of an angle than wave A. So it does, it does give it a bit of a bearish picture, and that's why I've got this alternative wave 2 here as such, because in reality I wouldn't be confirmed bullish unless I had the support of the 150 here as support, and that's not there, and we're under that, so we should be in bearish mode. But at the same time, we'll do our best to count 5 waves down here, and at minimum we should see move back up to the 50% area. So with that in mind, we're trying to figure out 5 waves down through here, and it is possible that we have wave 5 in place here, but we'd need to see an impulse wave to the upside here, and that's we're getting there in terms of a move up here, but it's not displaying as an impulse wave as yet. So we just need to be a little bit careful here, just drilling into the 1 hour chart here. I've got this little circle here because from this high here down to this low here, this is the 50 and 60% retracement level here. In regards to the levels, the 143 is important here. The 3 is always the top of group 1. So support, tested support on top of 3 there would give us, it would take us past 1 degree of bearish mode, but it still wouldn't give us 5 waves up. And what we're looking for here, is 5 waves in terms of this 1 and 2 here. We're looking for 3, 4 and 5 here. If we get that, then we know we've got an A and a B and a C here, and then another 5 up from that point there. And we are getting there in a sense, but if the 142 becomes through retested resistance, then we need to be mindful of that stage. So far the pattern to the upside here, the first move up was good, but this is all looking very sluggish here, isn't it? So we're looking at this as being wave 1 or A, 2 or B, and C wave here with 5 waves in it through here. So here I can count 1, 2, and then 3 here, 4 here, and 5 here. Hasn't taken out that high there, but it is 5 waves. So it may just be the 1 and 2 back to here, and the 3, 4 and 5 building. As long as it's above the 142, you can look at it as being positive. But if you were to trade it, then you want 142.30 as your tested support. So drill in there on the 5-minute chart and look for 142.30 and build on top of that and keep the stop under here and get up to 143. But the pattern to the upside so far is moving up, but it's slow, and this is being a wave 3 here should be stronger than wave 1 here, so it does really have a corrective mode to it. But we're also considering that a low is in place here, but we can't confirm that until we see a nice impulse wave to the upside here. Okay, the yen crosses, starting with the euro yen. So with the euro yen here, we've got this weekly chart here, and we've been counting 5 waves up through to here. And then we've had this very sharp move down, which is what I would expect of a wave A. Okay, so once again, we're looking for the low of wave A here in 5 waves, and then we're looking for a 3-wave counter trend as wave B that would pull back 50, 60 odd %. Okay, so once again, with this market and the pound, yen, and some of the other markets we've been looking at as well, like the euro and the Aussie, they're all looking at 5 waves moving up off their lows as well. So this one would be doing much the same as well. So in looking at 5 waves down through to here. We are seeing an impulse wave up through to here. We are seeing 5 waves up here. So 5 waves will produce, when it's completed, an A, B, C, and then another 5 waves up. But we're looking at all of this rally here as being corrective, okay? So we're looking for some sort of A, B, and C here. Now the A wave here can move up in either 3 waves, or it can move up in 5 waves up here. So just drilling in here somewhat, looking at this low being in place here, and looking at, you start to see a nice little 3rd wave in the middle here, 4th and a 5th. So we are looking to the upside there. I have labelled it, even though we got 5 waves here, I've labelled it wave A and B and C, but it could also be wave 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 for the larger wave A, but I'm labelling it like this just to keep us conservative and to point out and to remind us that the bigger picture is a corrective rally. But in terms of trading and whatnot, this little 5-wave structure here should see some type of corrective move here, and then look for support on 133 after you see a clean ABC here. Look for support on 133 and you'll get to 135. 134 will put up a bit of a fight, but it should move up higher than that. Wave C here should equal wave A here. Okay, the pound yen, much the same as well here. But I've got a slightly different count here. So coming down from this high here, this move down through here, wave 5 is a bit annoying, but look, wave 5 could be completed here, and we're looking at our A wave, B wave and C wave up here in line with the euro yen. That's a very high probability, but what I am concerned about, this little 5th wave down through here never really gave me a nice clean 5 waves finish. It's more like a B wave. So this move, this one down here that I was talking about, here being wave 5 here, I don't think that's the case, because well, this one here counts as corrective, but this move down here counts as a B wave, better as a B wave in terms of an A wave, a B wave and a C wave down here. So a 3-wave structure would have to be a B wave here, and would be looking for 5 waves up to 180 as a C wave or thereabouts, and then move down for wave A. So I don't know if this market is lagging or it's in line with the euro yen. So just a little bit unsure about this wave 4 structure here, that I don't know if that blue wave 4 should be here and that blue wave 5 should be here, and then we're moving up for this A, B and C here. I'm not really sure about this, so I just think that we should leave this alone for a moment. And this is the sort of structure that we're looking here. So you can see here that we do have a nice clean 5 waves down here as wave A, back for wave B, and first of all, it just didn't pull down enough here as such. So I think this is what we're looking at, an A and a B and a C wave here. This will be 5 waves here that it's not quite finished yet. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I just don't think this is finished as yet. But what we can also do here as well, if we do move when this last move here finishes here, if we do see this complete here and we do get an A and a B and a C wave here, and then find support on here, then we'll be able to go long with that reference point here on the 178 here as such, and move up from that point. But I want to take the conservative view here of having this as a C wave here, so we don't get trapped, and you take any setup here with a bit more rigor as such. Alrighty, yes, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.